I was scared to do it, but once I did it, I realised I was so glad and I was happy that I did it, because it just opened my eyes to how I can be better in the community and make a change. When you finish your career and you're transitioning out, it is a tough period, and I know a lot of boys or a lot of men would struggle. I didn't think it was going to be so hard. I was good on and off the field, and I had good relationships with good people, and when you go into that real world, the last thing you want to do is rely on your retirement fund that's created through RLPA, and it was pretty hard. It took about 2 to 3 months for me to find my feet, and I call it the grey area. I mean, you don't know what you want to do because you put so much into rugby league. And for me, I went into something that I was passionate about, and that was about helping Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people close that gap. And I was fortunate enough to find that role within Daily Choices, which used rugby league as a vehicle to spread that awareness around chronic diseases and encouraging, empowering our people to look after themselves. But then I asked myself, do I want to continue doing this? Because I didn't trying to empower them to look after their health. It was a slow process, and I went into one community in Cowan, and there was 6 suicides within 12 months, and I'm thinking into myself, how can I help this? You know what I mean? And mental health was something big that was happening in that community, and I had no experience around mental health. When it comes to depression and anxiety, it wasn't until I did my first aid mental health course, that 2-day course, and I realised going through my career, the ups and downs, the loss, the wins, how I was affecting my wife and the kids, and distanced myself, but also I used gambling as a coping mechanism, and realising that, and I wanted to change my ways, and to do that I had to educate myself. I found out Houso was just joined up with the RLPA, and I asked him, I was like, man, I'm really passionate about mental health, because I knew he was in that area, and he said, look, there's grants there that you can use within 3 years after you finish it. I was scared to do it, but once I did it, I realised I was so glad and I was happy that I did it, because it just opened my eyes to how I can be better in the community and make a change. I'm working with the Aboriginal Medical Service, Bundjalung in Grafton, and they work in that with health and 715s, but more around the juvenile detention, helping young kids transition out of juvenile detention, and then how they can be a better person outside of that. And that's not the life that's for them. They can make a choice. And I also work with Deadly Pathways to Construction, just another mentoring program for kids that want to do better. If school's not for them, then we can put them in construction, train them up, and put them on a job site. Without Chris and the team at RLPA, I wouldn't have done that mental health course, and it wouldn't put me in the stead I am in now in this mental space.